Okay, everybody, it's Lisa Crutch. I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit about myself, my stories, where I'm from, how many children I have, the jobs, the things I've experienced in my life, and just a little bit of laughter, a little bit of tears, maybe. And if so, I hope they're good tears. But I just wanted to share with you guys a little something about myself for this 2022 Mother's Day. I hope that you guys will enjoy it as much as I did making it. Love you.
When did you become a mother?
I became a mom at the age of 21, and my firstborn was a girl, Tiara.
And were you ready to have a baby, would you say?
I mean, after I found out, you prepare, but I don't know if you really, honestly, if you're really ready, because if it's your first child, sometimes you don't really know what to expect. So I don't know if I can say I was really ready. I was preparing.
And at that time, who was your mother figure?
My mother figure would have to have been my sister, my aunts. Um, 'Cause my mom passed away right before I turned 13. So I had a lot of mother figures that I can look up to, but it's mostly my sister and my aunt.
So if you had to pick one, who do you think was your role model in your time of life?
If I had to pick one who was my role model, that's hard. I don't know if I really had a role model per se. I'm the youngest of six kids, so I have two older sisters and three older brothers. And I think I just learned from their mistakes. I learned not to make those mistakes, and I think I just figured things out on my own. I don't think I really had a role model in a female figure that sort of way. And if I did have one, it would probably have been my dad.
Okay. So to jump straight into it, how did you manage being a full-time mom and a full-time employee?
How did I manage being a full-time mom? I had help. Remember, so I had a lot of children, well, four, but I had a husband and his family and my family. So with all of them together, it says it takes a village. So I had my own village that helped me with my kids.
Okay. So being an employee, part of your employment, you was in the Army. When did you join?
I joined the United States Army in the 90s. Um, I joined as a reservist because I worked full time for New York City Transit. So the Army was like my part time job. I just happened to be on orders more than I was at my regular 9 to 5. So, um, yeah.
Was it hard leaving us and being overseas in the military?
I think the first time when I got orders to leave for 365 days to go to Kuwait, that was difficult. I didn't know what to expect. The second time when I had orders for 545 days to go to Iraq, I was more prepared for it mentally and emotionally and physically. So the first time I wasn't really ready. It was really hard to leave. But the second time I was ready and I was prepared, and it was my time to go. So it was difficult leaving, but I had a job to do. I signed up for it, so you guys were taken care of, so I didn't have to worry about that. That's the difficult part. Leaving is worrying about who's gonna make sure the kids are taken care of. So like I said, I had a village, so that was the easy part. Going to fight in the war, I didn't have to worry about that stuff. So it was difficult, but it wasn't so difficult.
So how did you handle that emotionally?
I didn't. Like I said, I didn't have to worry about. That wasn't a part of something that I worried about when I left to go to the military. I didn't worry about if my kids were taken care of, if you guys were being fed, your homework was being done. I didn't have that worry. A lot of people did, but I didn't have that because, like I said, I had my village and I knew you guys were going to be great. So I just had to worry about what was going on over there.
All right. So a lot of people don't know this about you. but you went to college. So, what played a part in your decision to go back to college to get your degree?
So I went back to college in my 40s. And the reason why I went back, and I think it's the sole reason, I have lots of reasons, but the main reason why I went back is because I felt that I couldn't, as tell my children that they needed to go to college and get a degree if I hadn't done it and completed it. So it was more so me making sure I did what I was supposed to do so that I can tell and guide you guys, because I'm that person, like I'm not going to tell you to do something if I'm not willing to do the same thing. So that was my sole reason for going back to college and getting my degree.
What degree is that?
I have an associate's. I don't even remember what it is. I don't know if it's associates in science. I don't know. But I have an associate's. Yeah.
All right, and to just jump ship, you mentioned that your mom passed away. So who is your mom?
Well, my mom was Nancy Williams McCord. And she passed away in her sleep from a heart attack in 1980. So I had my mom, she passed away like a week and a half before I turned 13. So I didn't, from the time I was, I say 5 up until 12 or 13, that's the memories I would have of her. I don't remember all the rest because my siblings are older than me, so they have a whole lot more memories. I don't really have a whole lot of memories of her. I just remember, being with her being a protector, her being a disciplinary one, because my dad was not the disciplinary one. He was the big guy, but for me, he wasn't a disciplinary person. He was my Superman. My mom was the one who disciplined me, and I'm quite sure I deserved it. Back then, I didn't think I did. Right now, I know I did. But those are my memories. I don't really have a lot of memories of it. My siblings actually, they inform me. They give me a lot of the stories and things like that because I didn't have all that stuff. I was kind of deprived of that.
So bringing that up, if you could remember one memory, just one in particular about your mom, what stood out about her that you could think of in your childhood?
I remember, like I said, I know she was a protector, and I say that because I remember sitting in the car in the front seat, because back then, they didn't have the seat belts and things like that, and the front seat was like a long seat, a one seat. It wasn't separated, it wasn't two seats. And I remember driving with her in the car. I was in the front seat. I don't recall how old I was, but whatever was going on, I wasn't paying attention. And when you step on a brake, the first thing she did was take her arm and stretch it out to the side to protect me from going forward or through the windshield. So I remember she was my seatbelt. So I remember that. And I felt the pressure of me going forwards and hitting her arm, but her arm stopped me from going any further. So that, I remember that, and I can see that clearly. And that's why I always say she was a protector, because that right there, that she didn't do it just one time. She did that numerous times. But that's what I remember a lot about her taking. So I don't know if that means that she, drove too fast or I shouldn't have been in the front seat. But that's what I remember about her a lot, her protecting me.
Where is she from?
She's from New York.
She's from New York, born and raised?
Born and raised in Queens, New York.
And where did you spend your childhoods? In New York?
No, my childhoods were spent every summer after we got out of school. My childhood, like with my younger siblings, my nieces and nephews, we were in Virginia. Dolphin, Virginia. That's in the boondocks. So you probably won't even find that on a map. But it's about a 2-hour ride from Richmond. My grandparents on my mom's side, they owned a lot of land down there. So we went there every year, spent every summer there up until I think I was about 15. We went there every summer, and we had the best summers anybody could have ever had.
And what's something that you remember from your grandparents?
My grandparents, they were just they were just really caring and giving and loving people. And I have to say that not just because they're my grandparents, but anytime you have 5 and 6 of your grandkids, down there every summer without fail. You have to feed us, you have to deal with us, and entertain us. That was, I think, the hard part. But being down there with them, they showed us a lot of responsibility. Like my brother and my nephews and cousins and them, they had jobs. They picked tobacco. They drove the tractor. They worked at the cornfield, the tobacco field, the bean field. So we were taught a lot. We grew all of our vegetables. We planted sometimes, and we grew. We always had watermelon. We planted our own watermelon garden, but my grandparents had everything that we needed. They had cows, they had ponies, they had hogs or pigs. They had hogs. They had the chickens, the roosters. So we would go to the hen house and pick the eggs. And back then we didn't have running water in we called it the big house. It's a really big house. So there was a pump, like a well out in the back, and we would get on that and pump it. And you talking about the freshest, cleanest, best water you could ever drink. So that, I mean, my grandparents, they had the biggest hearts, because like I said, to deal with all of us every summer was something that, a lot of people wouldn't do. And my grandparents, I think when I was young, 9, 10, and 11 years old, I think they were like in their 60s or their 70s. I'm not sure. They would, when you're a kid, everything is old. Anybody at 25 is old when you're 10. So I don't remember how old it was, but I think they were like 60s, 70s, or even their 80s. I'm not sure.
Okay, so let's talk more about your kids. How many kids do you have again?
I have 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls.
And their names?
Tiara, Dante, Tanaya, you, and Devontae.
And as a mom of all 4 of us, what are your proudest moments that you had from each of your kids?
There's a lot of proud moments.
So let's start with Tiara.
I think a proud moment with Tiara would be when she learned how to ride her bike without training wheels. A proud moment would be when she learned how to drive, when she graduated high school, when she graduated college, when she had Kennedy. There's a lot of, so for each of them, there's a lot of proud moments. For Dante, a proud moment would be, I don't know what Dante, like, he's one of those kids. He was he didn't get in trouble kind of kid. And so he was an A student, AB student. So, we expected him to do well. He was one of those kids that we didn't have to worry about. So everything that he did, like, it was like a proud moment. So Dante was that kid that everything he did, I think he did everything with a purpose. Tanaya, I think the proud moment was, I think for me, the very first proud moment with you is when you passed your road test.
Finally.
Oh,
like
Jesus.
5 years.
So tonight, that was a proud moment of definitely when you graduated high school, because I did not think you were going to graduate high school. So that was a proud moment. When you got married, when you had kids, all that was all proud moments. For Devontae, I think a proud moment for me when Devontae, when he was really young, and he was playing football, he was playing basketball. When he got older, he played AAU basketball. I think, but the proudest moment I think that I've been of Devontae probably was when he graduated high school, but when he got the scholarships to go to college, and he was able to pick, like Dante was able to pick what colleges he was going to, but we already knew Dante was doing that. He was like one of those kids that we didn't worry about. But for Devontae, he was probably like the kid that gave us we had a tough time with Devontae. He was that kid. But he, one of the proud moments was when, he left to go to college. We were very proud when he played his first basketball game in college. It was a proud moment. When he joined the military, for me, that was a very proud moment. I think more so not when he joined. I think when he came home from basic and AIT, that's the proud moment. And of course, he got married and had a baby and all that stuff. So yeah, each one of my kids are doing really well, and I know that, you know, as long as I'm here, you guys are still gonna make me proud. So I don't worry about that. But that's some of the proud moments.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
What was something you loved doing with each year with us, even as we get older?
Something I love doing each year with you guys. I think that would be just the holidays. I'm a big Christmas fanatic. And I think that just the holidays, especially Christmas, that's my favorite time of the year. I love Christmas more than I love my birthday. And I think just having everybody here and we opening gifts and just laughing and eating and enjoying just the festivities of Christmas, that right there would be it for me.
Okay. I'm going to throw 5 questions.
5 questions.
Rocky! What's your zodiac sign?
My zodiac sign is the best zodiac sign, Pisces.
And what's your most favorite place that you've traveled to so far?
My most favorite place that I've traveled to so far. Oh my goodness, I've been so many places. My most favorite place that I think I have to say Hawaii with your dad.
Okay. And what's your all-time favorite meal?
My all-time favorite meal. That's difficult because I'm a foodie. I like to eat a lot. My all-time favorite meal. I don't know. I love me a great steak with a baked potato and some asparagus or some broccoli. I love that. But then, you know, I love oxtails too. So I'm going to say steak and potatoes.
And what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is purple and green.
Where are you from?
I am from Queens, New York.
Okay.
Queens are made in Queens.
And who's your favorite child?
I don't have a favorite child. I love all 4 of my children equally. That was a trick question. It was good, but not good enough. But no, all 4 of my kids, I love them equally. There's no favorite kid. I don't even have that in my vocabulary. No.
What is your biggest accomplishment as a mother?
My biggest accomplishment as a mom, honestly, is to be able to say that I have 4 beautiful kids. All 4 of them have went to college. All 4 of them have great careers. None of them ever been in any real trouble. And right now, they're all still, as adults, still striving and thriving and doing their best. And I think that's my biggest accomplishment.
Okay. And what did you learn as a mom raising us that nobody told you before you had kids?
What I learned raising you guys, that I think no one ever told me that grandkids are way better than kids. Because guess what? When you have your own kids, you dealing with them suckers for a minute. But when you have beautiful grandchildren, you get to love them and spoil them and do all that stuff and then send them home to their parents, and you don't have to deal with all the sugar rushes. So no one ever told me that.
And last question. What is some advice you would give to all the moms out there?
Advice I would give to moms out there. Love your children as much as you can. Love on your grandkids. And at the end of the day, always take time for yourself, to love you, to pamper yourself, to make sure that you're good. Because if you're good, they're good. Peace.